Hi everyone. So today we're going to be focusing on the skill, I can graph points on the coordinate plane. But before we started that, I really wanted to show you some different ways that coordinate planes are used in everyday life. So one way that you might be most familiar with is using a map. So using the coordinate plane allows us to plot points or locations based on their distance from different axes. So on a map, we think about 0 degrees is the equator, and 0 degrees is also the prime meridian. So I can tell someone where they are based on two coordinates. So if I give them a latitude and a longitude coordinate, we should figure out where they are on the globe. Another place that you might have used coordinates is on a multiplication chart. So I first look at what number I want to multiply on the top, and then I find where the other number I'm multiplying on the side, and then I find out where they are overlapping. Archaeologists use coordinate planes in order to be able to map out their site. So in this picture, you can see that there's a grid that's laid over the section that they've already started excavating. And then they will draw detailed drawings of what they're finding based on coordinates on the side. And if all else, you can use coordinates to be able to play a pretty epic game of Battleship. All right, so we need to have a little bit of vocabulary in order to be able to understand coordinate planes. So the first thing that we need to know is a coordinate plane. So a coordinate plane is a 2D system, two-dimensional, where a location, which we can also call a point, is described by its distance from an axis. And an axis is just a vertical or horizontal line, and I will show you that in just a moment. So an origin is where the x-axis and y-axis intersect. And we always show that as 0, 0. Up next is our x-coordinate. So an x-coordinate is the horizontal distance from the origin. So we're going to think about it as horizontal side to side. And then the y-coordinate, you guessed it, is going to be the vertical distance from the origin. So when we're thinking about a coordinate plane in math terms, we're going to see something that looks like this. I need to scooch it just a little bit up. Okay. So you're going to be asked to plot points or find out where different points are on this coordinate plane. So for example, you're going to see two numbers that are in parentheses. We might see 3, comma, 2. So we always list the x coordinate first, and then we have the y coordinate. So looking back to our x and y coordinates, we see that the x is the horizontal distance and the y is the vertical distance from the origin. So down here, this is what we call the origin, and that's 0, 0, because it's 0 away from the corner in the x-axis, and it's also 0 away from the corner in the y-axis. So based on what we know, we're going to show 3 first. So I'm going to start at the origin, and we have to go horizontally first. So it's 1, 2, 3 away from the origin horizontally. And that second number tells me that it's 2 away from the origin vertically. So then I just count up 1, 2, and I would put a dot. So sometimes they'll tell you to label them different things. So that will be our point A. So all I would do is write a little A next to that point. So then maybe they'll ask us to show 2, 3 as point B. Now, we already did a 3 and a 2. Is it going to be the same exact spot? No, because now I have to do the 2 first. So I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to count 1, 2 away from the origin for the horizontal x, and then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 away from the origin for my vertical y. And then I'm going to label that B. And let's do one more example. Let's do point C. Let's do 7, 7. All right, so in this case, I'm going to count over 7 horizontally first, because we always do our x first. And then we're going to count up 7 for our y, and that's going to be point C. Sometimes you'll have to go the opposite way. So for example, if I had a dot like that, and they're asking me, where is point D? I would go through and I would decide, okay, I always have to do horizontal first for my x-axis. So D is horizontally 9 away from the origin. And then I have to find out how far away it is from the origin vertically. And sometimes I find that using your fingers to be able to hold your place is a great idea, because it helps you make sure that you're not accidentally reading above or below where you're meant to be looking. So this one is 3 above the origin vertically. So dot D, or point D, is at 9, 3. All right, so for work today, you are going to be able to choose. So you're going to choose between page 1 or 2 in your coordinate plane packet. So for that, So you're going to take out your coordinate plane and line plots packet. And at the front, you'll see that we have a couple anchor charts to help out. So if you're not sure, you can always reference those. And then page 1 looks like a coordinate grid treasure map. And then the second part of that is that you're going to answer questions about where do you find different components. So like, where do you find the telescope on the map? And then you're going to list the coordinates, remembering that we always go x first horizontally and then y second vertically. And then the second choice that you have looks like this. So it's a list of coordinates, and you can use that to draw a picture using the coordinate plane. So for this, it says if you're going to connect the dots, but you're not going to connect your first point with your last point. So where it says stop, you're going to pick up your pencil and you're going to start a new section. And then the following page will be where you're going to draw. So you should be able to tear out the coordinate dot page, or the coordinate point page, so that you don't have to flip back and forth while you're trying to draw the picture.